of the Public Building Commission. The Board of County Commissioners are sitting as the Public Building Commission for this meeting. At this time, I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioner Fast.
Aye.
Commissioner Myers.
Myers, aye.
Commissioner Brewer.
Brewer here.
Commissioner Hanslick.
Hanslick here.
Commissioner Ashcraft.
Here.
Commissioner Allenbrand.
Allenbrand, aye.
And Chairman Kelly.
I'm here as well. Thank you very much. We are all here and present. Item number 1 is consideration of the July 17, 2025 Special Public Building Commission Business Session Minutes. Commissioner Fast will abstain from this vote. Commissioner Allenbrand.
I move to approve the July 17th, 2025 Special Public Building Commission Business Session Meetings.
Myers, second.
I'll take that as minutes.
Minutes.
That, very good. And seconded by Commissioner Myers from the motion made by Commissioner Allenbrand. Not seeing questions at this time. Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Commissioner Fast.
Aye.
Must abstain.
I abstained.
Commissioner
Oh
Myers.
for 2, Becky.
I'm so keyed.
Commissioner Myers.
Myers, aye.
Commissioner Brewer.
Brewer, aye.
Commissioner Hanslick.
Hanslick, aye.
Commissioner Ashcraft.
Yes.
Commissioner Allenbrand.
Allenbrand, aye.
Chairman Kelly.
Aye. We have 7 in favor, none against. The second, or, excuse me, we have 6 in favor, none against, 1 abstention. Is that correct?
It is.
Thank you very much. We'll move on this time to a major projects update from Tony Barron.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Chairman. Thank you for having me. As Ms. Post Oak Ferguson had mentioned in the BOCC meeting, she highlighted some BOCC projects along with a few PBC. So just a couple, one extra that I want to highlight. I want to talk about the detention center security upgrades, which are about 65% complete right now. We do have it complete at the juvenile detention center and currently in progress at the adult detention centers in Olathe and New Century. We do have MART projects on the list that are working forward with new chillers and pumps that we're seeing some great savings out of. We're anticipating some great savings out of as far as energy reduction. So we're looking forward to those projects. She had mentioned the Olathe Med Act. I just want to add on about the Olathe Med Act project that will be opening later this fall. We really value our collaborative efforts with Med Act on that. They've been great to work with. We feel very valued in our conversations with them, and I hope they feel the same about us. But those are moving forward with great success. And then the Health Services Building, that is the $116 million project that Ms. Post Oak Ferguson also mentioned. We're getting ready to go vertical with that, so we're really excited about that. We've been moving utilities since March. In August, which is now, we're starting to lay some concrete. By the end of this month, we're hopeful you'll start to see some steel erection go up in the air, which is exciting because I know there's lots of rock being moved, a lot of action out there, but as you drive by, it looks like the same rock pile every single day. So excited to get that moved on and begin vertical construction. I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barron. And I appreciate the board's diligence specifically with that project. A number was thrown to us by the previous sheriff that was well in excess of the actual cost of this facility at the end of the day, and I'm glad together we showed prudence and got this to a reasonable amount to still fit the need of the service that it was anticipated to provide. So congratulations to your team on being good fiscal stewards.
Thank you.
Commissioner Allenbrand?
Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate those comments, Chair. I just want to say I drive by the Health Services Building and I watch the growth, so I'm excited about that. And the Sunflower Fire Station, I'm going to give you a call. Some of the Panasonic execs, they were in the middle of their open house, and so I want to schedule a time for the rest of them to come out and see the fire station. So
That sounds great.
it looks great.
Any questions regarding Mr. Barron's update at this time? Then, Mr. Barron, thank you so much.
Thank you.
At this time, we will welcome Becky Jones for our semi-annual financial presentation. Ms. Jones, welcome back, and thank you again for the diligent work.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Becky Jones, Financial Management and Administration. Before you is the Public Building Commission's financial report, which is presented twice a year during this meeting. The Public Building Commission is the mechanism in which by the county constructs and improves buildings by issuing bonds. The PBC then leases those buildings back to the county. The lease payments from the county are used by the PBC to fund the debt payments on the outstanding bonds. For the period ending June 30th, 2025, you'll see in your packets 2 financial statements. The statement of net position listing the assets and liabilities of the PBC, and the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund net position. And all balances across both statements are trending as expected. The statement of net position shows the assets of the PBC to be a large cash balance made up of bond proceeds being used to pay for the various projects, and the value of the assets that have already been constructed. The liabilities are essentially the bond debt that's been incurred to construct those buildings. And the final net position for the PBC is $255.7 million. This slide represents visually that we've been paying down our debt. However, there is a slight increase in 2025 as expected as we issued bonds for the Human Services Building. The statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund net position shows the revenues of the PBC to be the rents that are charged on the constructed buildings, and those are equal to the bond payments on those buildings. The expenses are largely depreciation on assets as well as interest expense. Keep in mind that our bonds only pay interest in the first half of the year, and principal is paid in September. So the rents are lower accordingly. This slide shows you the revenue sources that are making the bond payments via the rents charged. 62% of the buildings currently being financed are related to public safety projects and have a corresponding sales tax covering the payments. The remaining 38% of our financed buildings receive revenues from countywide revenues, library, and a very small amount from transit. The final 2 slides relate to interest. Interest income is on the rise as the markets continue to improve. And interest expense is proportionate with bonds payable, which is $5 million for the first half of this year. And that concludes my presentation, and I'll stand for questions.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Jones. Nice to know that things are all on schedule and accounted for. Questions for Ms. Jones? Commissioner Allenbrand?
Thank you, Chair. You always have such a detailed presentation that sometimes when I hear comments from people, I wish they would stay through the whole presentation to see how thorough you are. And you know, I hear from others how thorough you are. In fact, sometimes you can almost be too thorough.
Thank you.
But I appreciate
I'm
that
an accountant.
from you. I agree. And so I always know it's done right and it's done on time. So thank you for
Thank you,
you,
Commissioner.
and I know there's others that you work with, but thank you for that diligence.
Thank you.
Commissioner Brewer?
So as a newer member to the body, and this is a question I'll go into more detail with you maybe at a separate meeting, but I think it would be worthwhile to ask so that public understands too, the model of doing the bond, building the building, and leasing it back to the department that's using it and charging them rent. Can you go into a little bit about that model, why we do that model?
So it's the Public Building Commission, and we have bylaws that are, that outline that process. The reason for it is because it allows the county to issue bonds for those projects and charge the rents for them. If the county itself was to issue bonds, GO bonds for those buildings, we would have to go out for a public vote for that. The Public Building Commission actually allows, it's a federally separate entity. It has its own federal tax ID, and it allows us to issue those bonds for the building. We can cash fund a portion of it, but it can only be up to 50%.
It allows us to operate efficiently so that we're not 10, 20, 30, 40 years out before a building that's discussed ever gets actually built.
That's correct, and it also saves the taxpayers' dollars from an election standpoint.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jones. Not seeing any further questions on this item, so we'll move on to number 4 on your agenda. Number 4 is our statement of net assets and statement of net position. So, Ms. Jones, are you providing this update on net assets? Or do we feel like we've looked through not only our net assets in the prior presentation, as well as revenue, expenses, and change in fund net assets?
Yes, that was the entire
I'm
presentation.
just making sure. And so
sorry.
just for transparency's sake.
Yes, that's all.
Everybody understands that the items that were presented in item number 3 are our corresponding statement of net position, as well as revenues, expenses, and change in net fund assets. All right. Very good. Seeing no further questions from Ms. Jones, we thank her for her efforts and have no further items on the PBC agenda at this time. We will adjourn this meeting, and we are going to reopen our business meeting for executive sessions. This PBC meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.